Imagine you live in the huge city of Miami. School just let out and you ride the bus back to your neighborhood. As you're walking through the neighborhood to get to your home, you hear gunshots a few houses down from your house. You sprint to your house to make sure it was not your home being targeted. This is a true story that happened frequently to one of my friends. He lived in Vera every day before he came to UGA. In many parts of America, crime is an everyday occurrence that some people become accustomed to. Although the crime rate has dropped in the past quarter century, according to the Pew Research Center in 2018, people should not have to live in fear. Crime prevention is a policy that I recently became interested in when I moved to Athens. The neighborhood behind my apartment is not safe, and I hear police sirens frequently. Within my speech, I will argue why implementing more crime prevention programs would lower the taxes on hardworking Americans, better the mental health of American citizens, and ultimately make America safer. Implementing more crime prevention will lower the taxes on hardworking Americans. A large chunk of the money that Americans work very hard for is taken in the form of taxes and spent on people in prisons. It is not cheap. Prisons require utility bills, general maintenance bills, medical care bills, and judiciary bills. Financially, prisons require the same bills that you have to pay for a house. The prisons require water, electricity, internet, and aside from these common bills, there's bills you would not even think of having to pay for. For example, the grass has to be mowed. There are annual maintenance repairs, people at the front desk have to be paid, and the security guards have to be paid. Also, consider the medical staffs in large prisons. They're not cheap. And what about lawyers? If a middle-class citizen gets arrested, they may want to hire a lawyer to defend them. But this money will be coming out of their own pocket. But what if a person with an extremely low income gets arrested or no income at all? The 16th Amendment of the United States Constitution gives defendants the right to attorney even if they cannot afford one. So you, the American people, are paying for this criminal to have a public defender. The death penalty is also another controversial topic when debating the moral aspects, but when it comes to spending tax money, there's no question that the death penalty costs more than sentencing criminals to a life without parole. In 2014, Robert Dunham, who has over 25 years of experience arguing in the Supreme Court over the death penalty, stated in the DPIC, the death penalty is far more expensive than a system utilizing life without parole sentences as an alternative punishment. The death penalty process is so expensive because a lot of people are hired in the defense of the criminal to fight their case. And it is such a long process that includes a variety of judiciary expenses. People constantly complain about having to pay taxes, but if there were less crimes in America, there would be less tax money going towards the prisons that house these criminals. Ultimately, more crime prevention puts more money back into people's pockets. Implementing more crime prevention will also help the mental health of American citizens. All the people in America who are sent to prison have a family, and these families have emotions. Imagine your mother being arrested for a crime and getting sentenced 10 years in prison. You and your family are going to be an emotional roller coaster. You may not be able to see your mom for a few years until she is allowed visitation rights. Having to go through this period of life without your mom might cause you to have depression or other mental illnesses. If this happened to me, I would have missed out on my mom taking me prom dress shopping, giving me advice on boys, packing my lunch for school every day, and just telling her I love her. This would be such an emotional strain that I cannot even imagine. According to the Sentencing Project, there were 110,845 women imprisoned in 2018. Many of these women were mothers, and kids had to go through life without their mom. If more crime prevention policies were available, these mothers would have a better chance of not going to prison. They would have had a better chance of actually being a mom to their kids. There would be less broken families in America, and we would live in a happier place with better mental health. Most importantly, implementing more crime prevention will make America a safer place. Many kids take after their parents in the way that they behave, and if their parents are frequently involved in criminal activity, such as drug use or theft and robbery, the kids will grow up in a home accustomed to this lifestyle. They will follow by example, getting themselves into trouble that could have been avoided by crime prevention programs. In major cities, there tend to be tremendous amounts of gang violence that is a danger to the communities, but more specifically to the young kids in the communities. Many gang members recruit young teenagers. Some teenagers grow up in homes where their siblings are already members of a gang, and this influences the kids to be more comfortable with crime. As they grow older, it is likely that they will be in and out of prison during their life, adding to the cost of taxpayers. Gang violence is happening in the city that we all go to school in. In 2018, the Red and Black newspaper released an article stating that there were a total of 14 separate shootings that police believe have been in relation to the gangs. Crime prevention programs overall will lead to an increased quality of life for everyone in America. With less gang violence, robberies, shooting, theft, and murder, people will feel safer in their own homes. College students won't have to worry as much when walking on campus late at night. People won't have to be as afraid to go to the grocery store by themselves. Parents won't have to raise their kids in a place where they fear it is the last time that they might see them. Overall, more crime prevention programs will better America in so many ways. It will lower the taxes that hard-working Americans have to pay, better the mental health of American citizens, and make America a safer place to live. My future kids and many others will be raised in America, and I can only hope that it will be a safer place than it is now.